Hey neighbor, welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John, and I want to talk about the idea of removing lyrics from a song or album after said piece of music has already been put out in the world. I'm of course talking about this because you might see it in the headlines right now. Lizzo, Beyonce, possibly others. That's really the scope of it in the current field, but there have been more, and it dates back to things like Taylor Swift. Remember the song Me, where she said that cringe line, "Spelling is fun, hey kids, spelling is fun." That got cut from the song because she got poked at a little bit too much, and I don't think Taylor Swift really likes being made fun of. And it brings us to the modern age, where July 2022, we have Beyonce putting out her long-awaited follow-up to Lemonade. It's called Renaissance. If you're looking for my opinion, I don't have one because I'm listening to so much less newer music these days that I've only heard a few of the songs from it, and it didn't really catch my attention to the point where it felt like I wanted to explore the entire album. The reason we're talking about censored, redacted, and repositioned lyrics that are re-uploaded as new versions of the track, kind of like Kanye West did with the whole Life of Pablo thing where it was a moving, breathing body of work, it's different here because both Lizzo and Beyonce in back-to-back months had to actually edit out parts of lyrics on their albums, and both of them had to do with what was labeled ableist terms, and they used the word spaz or spazin, which of course can be used to mock disabled people. Heated was the song in question on Beyonce's Renaissance, where she sang "Spazzin' on that ass, spaz on that ass." That was the original version. I think it's been repackaged, edited, and sent back to streaming services, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal. While these two situations in particular make a lot of sense as far as why the artist would ultimately choose to listen to their fans and respond to the backlash, it also kind of sets this weird precedent that becomes kind of this gray area, and we're already seeing the fallout and repercussions of what happens when you give in and actually change said lyrics. It's weird to me because it seems like somebody as big as Beyonce or Lizzo, unless they're just completely surrounded by yes men and women and people who will just say whatever the hell Queen Bee or Lizzo wants to hear, how did somebody not check this and say, you know what, bae? Maybe somebody might actually see that as offensive. In fact, an entire community of your fans and people at large might see that as offensive. Is there just no system in place? I mean, apparently Beyonce had a Me Too check going on with the people who were producing her album, so how are we not going to censor out the whole thing about spazzing on that ass? I think what I'm trying to say there is that it's either like all or nothing, because obviously there's songs out there that have some very questionable lyrical content, perhaps offensive, or perhaps no longer fitting for today's societal standards. And Partition was a song in particular that really got people's attention again after Beyonce edited not one, but two songs because she had to remove a sample that apparently she didn't clear. What is going on with her team? They are falling and failing on everything. No, but seriously, people were coming for Beyonce again after she edited those two songs. They started saying, well, what about Partition? You made this kind of tasteless reference to Monica Lewinsky. This feels like a crossroads I've seen before when it comes to music, the way that fans respond, and with it being the Beehive and Beyonce, this is obviously a situation that gets very testy very quickly, so I'm trying not to say too much because I really don't feel like maybe Lizzo or Beyonce necessarily understood the implications. I don't even think I fully understood the implications of a word like spaz before looking into this and understanding that it affected so many people negatively. I don't think that either artist, despite me not being a big fan really of either of them much at all, I don't feel like they went into this with bad intentions, and it's obviously at the end of the day their and their team's choice if they want to edit the lyrics or not. But again, it feels kind of like opening the gates of hell, like some sort of secret portal somewhere, and now everybody's gonna come flying out requesting for their favorite artist to change these lyrics that maybe kind of offend or don't really speak to them the way they did 20, 30, 40 years ago. You can't just Control-Z everything from the past, because there are things that you do and that you kind of have to own as an artist, and it feels weird that we are in this age where you can just instantly edit something. And I don't know if there were any physical copies of Renaissance being made or of Lizzo's album, but I would assume that some people got the original CD at the very least, so those might go for some money someday, but not for the best reason. I'll turn it over to you guys. What do you think about the art of censoring lyrics, or putting out a different version of a song or an album that removes certain things? Is it just really confusing for you as a fan, as a listener, or are you okay in situations like these, which, again, I do understand completely why the lyrics were redacted. Any and all thoughts, hit me with your take in the comments section down below. This was just my take and feeling about the situation at large. While you're down there, hit that like button, subscribe for the love of music, and I'll see you again soon for more on Beyond ARTV.